Before humanity built cities, before civilization, before history itself, this planet belonged to something else. Long before the first human heartbeat, long before the first word was spoken, Earth was already ancient. For billions of years, this world existed in complete darkness and chaos. Entire worlds rose and vanished, without a single human ever witnessing them. The Earth you know today, the oceans, the forests, the mountains, were all shaped by terrifying events far older than humanity itself. Because before humans ruled this planet, something else did. And if history had unfolded even slightly differently, human beings may never have existed at all. Right now, we journey backward through time, back before civilization, back before history, back before humanity itself, to a forgotten Earth, a violent world of fire, monsters, extinction, and survival. This is the story of the world before humans. 4.5 billion years ago, Earth was not blue, it was not beautiful, it was not alive. The young planet was a nightmare beyond imagination. The surface of Earth was covered in endless oceans of molten rock. Gigantic volcanoes erupted constantly across the planet. Rivers of lava stretched for thousands of miles beneath skies poisoned with toxic gases. Massive asteroids crashed endlessly into the burning surface. Every impact shook the planet violently. There were no oceans, no oxygen, no life. Only fire, only chaos, only destruction. The Earth itself was still being formed. At the time, the solar system was a violent place. Fragments of rock and ice traveled through space at terrifying speeds. Many of them collided directly with the young Earth. Some impacts were so powerful they could melt entire regions of the planet instantly. For millions of years, the surface of Earth remained unstable. Nothing could survive here. If a human being somehow stood on the planet during this time, they would die within seconds. The atmosphere itself was deadly. The air was filled with poisonous gases and volcanic ash. The heat was unbearable. Even the oceans had not yet formed. And yet, hidden within all this destruction, the foundations of life were slowly being created. Over millions of years, Earth slowly began cooling. The violent storms continued. But gradually, something extraordinary happened. Steam rising from the planet began condensing in the atmosphere. Then came the rain. Not ordinary rain. Rain that lasted for thousands of years. Endless storms crashed against the burning planet. Water slowly filled the lowest regions of Earth's surface. The first oceans were born. For the first time in its history, Earth began to resemble a real world. But it was still terrifying. Gigantic waves crashed beneath dark skies filled with volcanic smoke. Lightning storms illuminated the oceans constantly. The planet remained unstable and violent. But deep beneath those ancient oceans, something incredible was happening. Chemical reactions unfolded within the water. Simple molecules collided repeatedly for millions of years, and eventually, life appeared. Tiny microscopic organisms emerged within the oceans. Simple, fragile, almost invisible. But those microscopic life forms would change Earth forever. At first, life on Earth was extremely primitive. These tiny organisms drifted silently through the ancient oceans, but over millions of years, they began producing oxygen. Slowly, the atmosphere itself started changing. The poisonous skies began transforming. Earth was no longer completely dead. Life had begun reshaping the planet itself, and evolution had only just started. As millions of years passed, life became more complex. The oceans filled with strange ancient organisms. Some learned to hunt, others learned to survive in the darkness beneath the seas. The struggle for survival had begun. Long before dinosaurs, long before mammals, long before humans, life was already fighting brutal wars beneath the oceans of prehistoric Earth. Evolution transformed the planet slowly, but mercilessly. The weak disappeared. The adaptable survived. and over unimaginable lengths of time. Earth continued changing. Continents shifted across the surface of the planet. Volcanoes reshaped entire landscapes. The climate transformed again and again. This was not a peaceful world. Earth was violent, unpredictable, merciless. But despite every catastrophe, life continued evolving, growing stronger, stranger, more terrifying, and eventually, the planet would give rise to creatures so massive, so powerful, that they would dominate the Earth for millions of years. The age of monsters was coming. Millions of years passed. Earth continued changing. The oceans expanded. The continents drifted slowly across the planet, and life kept evolving. Creatures became larger, faster, deadlier. The struggle for survival transformed Earth into a battlefield. Then eventually, the Age of Giants began. Dinosaurs. For more than 160 million years, these creatures dominated the planet. To put that into perspective, human civilization has existed for only a tiny fraction of that time. Dinosaurs ruled the Earth far longer than humanity ever has, and during their reign, the world became almost unrecognizable. Massive forests stretched endlessly across prehistoric continents. Gigantic insects crawled through thick vegetation. The air itself felt different. The climate was warmer, wilder, more dangerous. This was not the peaceful natural world humans know today. This was a brutal planet ruled entirely by survival. Every day was a fight to stay alive, and the dinosaurs became the undisputed rulers of this violent world. Some species grew larger than buildings. Towering giants walked across the Earth with enough weight to shake the ground beneath them. Others evolved into terrifying predators designed purely for killing. Their teeth could crush bone. Their claws ripped through flesh effortlessly. Their vision, their speed, their strength made them some of the deadliest creatures Earth has ever produced. But the terror of prehistoric Earth did not end on land. The oceans were equally horrifying. Gigantic marine predators hunted beneath the dark waters. Some were large enough to swallow creatures whole. The seas themselves became hunting grounds filled with ancient monsters. Even the skies belonged to predators. Massive flying reptiles soared above prehistoric landscapes, searching for prey. At this point in Earth's history, almost every corner of the planet was dangerous. And yet, for millions of years, the dinosaurs thrived. Evolution shaped them into incredibly successful creatures. Some hunted alone. Others moved in deadly packs. Some relied on brute strength. Others survived through speed and intelligence. Prehistoric Earth became a terrifying balance of predator and prey. One mistake meant death. The weak vanished quickly. Only the strongest survived. But despite their dominance, the dinosaurs were not invincible, because Earth itself had always been unpredictable. Volcanoes continued erupting across the planet. The climate shifted repeatedly. Entire ecosystems changed over time, and deep beneath the surface of prehistoric Earth, powerful natural forces were already building toward catastrophe. But the dinosaurs could not understand any of this. To them, the world seemed eternal. The forests continued growing. The oceans continued moving. The hunt continued. Generation after generation, the giants ruled without challenge. And as millions of years passed, dinosaurs spread across nearly every part of the planet. Some adapted to deserts. Others thrived in forests or near coastlines. Evolution pushed life into increasingly strange and terrifying forms. Certain predators became so efficient that almost nothing could escape them. Imagine standing in a prehistoric jungle during this time. The air would be thick and humid. Strange sounds would echo through the forests constantly. Massive footsteps would shake the ground somewhere beyond the trees. You would never truly feel safe, because hidden within those forests, something enormous could already be hunting you. Prehistoric Earth was beautiful, but it was also merciless. Violence was part of everyday life. Creatures were torn apart constantly in the struggle to survive. Even baby dinosaurs faced constant danger from predators. This world had no mercy. No civilization, no protection, only survival. And for millions of years, the dinosaurs remained at the center of that world. They became the symbols of prehistoric Earth itself, the true rulers of the planet. But while the giants dominated the Earth, something far beyond the skies was already moving toward them. An object traveling silently through space. An object that would end an entire age forever. And when it finally arrived, the world of monsters would collapse in a single day. 66 million years ago, the dinosaurs still ruled the Earth. The forests remained alive with enormous creatures. Predators still hunted across ancient landscapes. The oceans still belonged to monsters. And for millions of years, nothing had truly challenged their dominance. Then something appeared beyond the skies, far out in space. An enormous asteroid was moving silently toward Earth, traveling at unimaginable speed. The object had already crossed millions of miles through the darkness of space. The dinosaurs had no idea it existed. No creature on Earth did. Life continued normally. The hunt continued. The forests continued breathing. The oceans continued moving. And above it all, death was getting closer. As the asteroid entered Earth's atmosphere, the sky itself began changing. A blinding light tore across the heavens. The object moved faster than sound, faster than anything the planet had ever seen. Then, impact. The asteroid slammed into Earth with a force greater than billions of nuclear bombs. For one brief moment, the surface of the planet became pure destruction. The explosion vaporized everything near the impact site instantly. Entire forests disappeared within seconds. Shockwaves ripped across the Earth at terrifying speed. The ground itself trembled violently. Mountains collapsed. Gigantic earthquakes shattered entire regions of the planet. And then came the fire. Molten debris blasted high into the atmosphere before raining back down across Earth. The skies themselves burned. Forests ignited instantly. Entire landscapes transformed into oceans of fire. Creatures that had survived for millions of years suddenly found themselves trapped inside a planetary catastrophe. The oceans became violent. Gigantic tsunamis swallowed coastlines whole. Waves taller than buildings crashed across ancient continents. Nothing could escape. Nothing could prepare for what was happening. And then, darkness arrived. Ash and smoke spread across the atmosphere until sunlight itself disappeared. The planet began cooling rapidly. Temperatures collapsed. The forests started dying. Plants withered beneath the darkness. The entire food chain began collapsing. The herbivores slowly starved. Then the predators followed. For the dinosaurs, the apocalypse had begun. Imagine the terror of that world. After the asteroid impact, Earth was no longer the same planet. The age of giants had ended. The forests that once echoed with the footsteps of enormous creatures were now silent. Burned trees stretched endlessly across the land like black skeletons. Ash covered the skies. Smoke drifted across dead oceans. The world itself felt empty. For millions of years, dinosaurs had dominated nearly every part of the planet. Now, they were gone. And in the aftermath of extinction, Earth became a graveyard. The skies remained dark for a long time. Sunlight struggled to reach the surface. Temperatures stayed dangerously cold. Plants continued dying across entire continents. Without forests, without stable ecosystems, survival became almost impossible. Many species that survived the initial impact slowly disappeared afterward. Some starved, others froze. The extinction event did not end in a single day. It unfolded over years, a slow collapse of life itself. Imagine standing on Earth during this period. The silence alone would feel terrifying. No giant predators roaring in the forests, no enormous creatures shaking the ground. Only wind moving through dead landscapes, only darkness, only ruins. It would have felt like the end of the world. And in many ways, it was. Earth had experienced mass extinctions before. Entire worlds had already vanished long before the dinosaurs existed. But this extinction changed the future forever, because hidden beneath the destruction, life was quietly starting over. Deep underground, inside caves, beneath fallen trees, tiny mammals survived. During the age of dinosaurs, these creatures lived in fear. Most were small, weak, easy prey for the giants above them. They survived by hiding, by remaining unnoticed. But now, the rulers of Earth were gone, and suddenly, the world had space for something new. The forests slowly returned. The skies gradually cleared. Life began rebuilding itself once again. Over millions of years, those tiny mammals evolved rapidly. Some grew larger, others adapted to entirely new environments. Certain species returned to the oceans. Others developed the ability to glide through the skies. Evolution accelerated after extinction. Nature was rebuilding the planet, but this new world was different. Without dinosaurs dominating the Earth, mammals spread across continents freely. The balance of life had changed forever. And somewhere among those evolving mammals, a particular group of creatures slowly began changing in unusual ways. Primates. Their eyes faced forward. Their hands became more flexible. Their intelligence slowly increased. At first, they were insignificant. Nothing about them suggested they would one day dominate the planet. But evolution worked slowly, patiently, generation after generation. Tiny changes accumulated. The Earth itself continued transforming around them. Continents drifted farther apart. Mountains rose. Oceans shifted. Ice ages came and went. Nature constantly reshaped the world, and through every catastrophe, life adapted again. That was Earth's greatest pattern. Survival through destruction. Every extinction event created opportunities for something new. Every collapse gave rise to another beginning. The dinosaurs once seemed unstoppable, yet today, they exist only as fossils buried beneath stone. And now, a new type of creature was beginning its journey. One that would eventually reshape the entire planet more dramatically than any species before it. Not through claws, not through massive strength, but through intelligence. The rise of humanity had begun. Humanity did not appear suddenly. There was no single moment when the first true human stood alone beneath the skies and understood what they were becoming. Our story unfolded slowly, across millions of years, long before modern civilization, long before cities and technology. Our ancestors were simply another species struggling to survive on a dangerous planet. The world they inherited was still brutal. Predators hunted constantly across forests and grasslands. The climate shifted unpredictably. Food was never guaranteed. Death was always close. Early humans were weak compared to many animals around them. They did not have sharp claws. They were not the fastest hunters. They could not overpower massive predators through strength alone. And yet, something about them was different. Their intelligence was evolving rapidly. Tiny changes in the brain slowly transformed the future of Earth itself. Our ancestors learned to walk upright. That simple ability changed everything. Standing on two legs allowed them to travel farther across open land. Their hands became free to carry tools, to build, to create, and eventually, to change the world. At first, the tools were primitive. Sharp stones, wooden spears, simple objects used for survival. But even those early inventions gave humans an enormous advantage. Because humans learned faster than other creatures. Generation after generation, knowledge could be passed forward. Survival was no longer based only on instinct. It was based on learning, and learning changed humanity forever. But life remained terrifying. Imagine standing beside a small group of early humans at night. The darkness around them would feel endless. Predators moved silently through the distance. Every sound in the forest could mean death. The world was still wild, still untamed, still far beyond human control. And then, humanity discovered fire. That moment may have been one of the most important turning points in the history of life on Earth. Fire gave humans protection from predators, warmth during freezing nights, light within the darkness. Food became easier to cook and safer to eat. For the first time, humans gained a small degree of control over nature itself. And with that control, humanity began changing rapidly. Groups became larger, communication improved. Humans learned to hunt together, to survive together, to adapt together. While many species remained trapped by instinct, humans evolved through intelligence and cooperation. That combination made them incredibly dangerous. Over thousands of years, humanity spread across the planet. They crossed deserts beneath burning suns, traveled through frozen landscapes during brutal ice ages, survived environments that should have killed them, no matter how harsh the world became. Humans adapted. That adaptability became humanity's greatest weapon. Eventually, humans encountered creatures far larger and stronger than themselves, gigantic predators, massive beasts that had survived countless generations, and yet, again and again, humanity endured. Because intelligence allowed humans to reshape the rules of survival itself. They created weapons, built shelters, learned patterns, studied nature, and slowly, the balance of Earth began changing. For millions of years, nature had controlled life completely. Now, one species was beginning to fight back. Humanity's growth accelerated. Primitive tribes evolved into larger communities. Language became more advanced. Stories were shared around fires beneath ancient skies. Knowledge passed from one generation to the next. And eventually, humans began imagining things no other species could. The future. Civilization itself began as an idea inside the human mind. But humanity's rise came with consequences. As humans expanded across continents, other species disappeared. Large animals that once dominated certain regions slowly vanished. Entire ecosystems began changing under human influence. For the first time in Earth's history, a species was not merely surviving within nature, it was reshaping nature itself. And humanity was only getting started. Because within only a few thousand years, humans would transform the entire planet more dramatically than any creature before them. The age of humanity had arrived. The rise of humanity happened astonishingly fast. Compared to the billions of years Earth had already existed, human civilization appeared almost instantly. And once it began, the planet would never be the same again. Humans learned to farm. Small settlements became villages. Villages became cities. And cities eventually became civilizations. For the first time in Earth's history, a species was no longer simply surviving within nature. It was reshaping the planet around itself. Great civilizations rose beside rivers and fertile lands. Humans built roads across continents. Massive kingdoms emerged from deserts, forests, and coastlines. Empires expanded through war and conquest. Knowledge spread rapidly. Generation after generation, humanity became more powerful, and unlike the creatures before them, humans did not rely on physical evolution anymore. Their true power came from ideas, technology, innovation. The human mind became the deadliest force Earth had ever seen. Within only a few thousand years, humanity achieved things no species before it ever could. Ships crossed vast oceans, massive cities pierced the skies, machines replaced physical labor. Entire nations rose from industrial power. The world transformed rapidly beneath human hands. And eventually, humanity reached the skies themselves. The same species that once hid from predators beside small fires now flew above the clouds, crossed oceans in hours, and walked on the surface of the moon. It was extraordinary, but it was also terrifying because humanity's intelligence gave it enormous power. And enormous power always changes the planet itself. Forests disappeared beneath expanding cities. Entire animal species vanished forever. Rivers were redirected. Mountains were destroyed for resources. The natural balance of Earth continued shifting. For millions of years, nature shaped life. Now humanity was reshaping nature. And perhaps the most terrifying part was how quickly it all happened. Dinosaurs ruled Earth for more than 160 million years. Human civilization transformed the planet dramatically in only a tiny fraction of that time. Factories covered continents. Technology spread into nearly every part of life. Machines connected billions of people instantly. Humanity no longer feared the darkness the way early humans once had. Instead, humans began trying to control the Earth itself. They split atoms, created weapons capable of destroying entire cities within seconds, built artificial intelligence, manipulated genetics, explored space. The species that once struggled to survive in prehistoric forests had become the dominant force on the planet. But despite humanity's achievements, Earth itself remained unchanged in one terrifying way. It was still dangerous, still unpredictable, still capable of destruction on a planetary scale. Volcanoes still sleep beneath the surface. Asteroids still travel silently through space. The climate still changes. Nature still operates beyond human emotion or control. And history has already shown what happens to species that believe they will rule forever. The dinosaurs once dominated this world completely. For millions of years, they seemed unstoppable. Yet today, they survive only as bones buried beneath the earth. Humanity often behaves as though civilization is permanent, as though modern society will last forever. But in the timeline of this planet, human civilization is unbelievably young. A brief moment, a single chapter, and one day, humanity itself may disappear. Cities may collapse. Skyscrapers may crumble into ruins. The oceans may swallow entire coastlines. Future creatures may walk across the remains of human civilization the same way humans study fossils today. Because Earth has never promised permanence. Only change, only survival, only time. And despite everything humanity has accomplished, we are still living on the same violent planet that destroyed entire worlds before us. The same planet that erased the dinosaurs. The same planet that existed billions of years before humanity, and may continue existing billions of years after humanity is gone. In the end, Earth does not belong to humans. Humans are only passing through. Another intelligent species may walk across the ruins of human civilization. They may study our remains the same way humans study dinosaur fossils today. Broken cities buried beneath rock and dust. Forgotten oceans swallowing the remains of skyscrapers. Evidence that humanity once ruled the Earth. And just like the dinosaurs, we may become another lost chapter in the history of this planet. A forgotten world. Because in the end, Earth does not belong to any species forever. Not dinosaurs, not empires, not even humanity. The planet existed billions of years before us, and one day, it may continue long after we are gone. Human beings often believe we are the final chapter of Earth's story, but the terrifying truth is that we may only be a brief moment within it, a single chapter in the endless history of this planet. And before us, there was another world, a world without humans. The untold archives. The past is never truly gone.